Hello. Hey, guys. Hello, hello. Hey, guys. Hey, Pink. Hey, guys. Guys, do me a favor. If you're in here, share this one out. This one's going to be good. Can you guys hear me okay? I feel like there's too much light here. Is that better? I feel like there's too much light. Yes, please cancel. Hello, guys. Hello, hello. Thank you, guys, for the heart me's. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys, so much. Guys, tonight I want to talk about the Bradley family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do me a favor. Share it out, guys. Nobody's been getting my notifications. I'm good, Angel. How are you? I'm about to call them out. I am tired of the absolute bullying going on in this app because people don't agree with the Bradley family. So let me put that out there. We are all entitled to believe whatever the hell we want to believe, especially when there's a case with no facts, guys. And the fact that people are out there scared of having an opinion and talking on TikTok because people want to sit there and be bullies. Why are you bullying so hard if your story's true? So we're going to get to the bottom of this because I'm absolutely over it. Hey, Pink.
Hey, girl, hey.
So, yo, I can't even right now. This is just so funny.
I'm so ready for this live.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. Look at how gray my hair is. I was thinking about letting it go gray, and now I think I can't handle it.
Now I'm digging it. We love a natural queen. Hey, Hollow Mom.
Yes, guys, do me a favor.
Chatter.
Get in here, please share it out. We are going to call them out. We're going to call the Bradley family out for the bullying because I'm just about over this nonsense. I could talk about whatever I want on my page. Nobody can force me to talk about their narrative. I'm just saying, especially when they got no proof. Cancel will always be canceled to me. You there?
Canceled.
Let me exit out and come back in. Hold on.
Oh. Hello, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys know the only thing I ask is that you tap the screen and share it out. I appreciate you all. I just ask you to tap until I got a dent in my head. Thank you guys so much. And again, I appreciate the heart me's, guys. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate them. That really helps me get pushed out there. Hey, guys.
Where's Moo?
Moo. You know what? Where is Moo?
I'm concerned.
Moo. I promise you, Moo is okay. He's probably with my daughter in her bed.
Okay.
Before.
Just had to check on our star, you know.
Moo's still around because let's be real, Moo is absolutely a star of the show. We all know it. I'm just his co-host. So, all right, guys, I want to talk about it. I also want to invite people up if they have had the same situation occur to them. Okay, there has been an issue with the Bradley family and that lady Sandy for a minute, right? I have had multiple content creators messaging me, telling me that they're afraid to do content because they're being bullied. That is not okay. It is not okay that I could talk about whatever the hell I want on my page.
Period.
That's it. And the fact that these people want to sit there and accuse a man, okay, with no proof is absolutely wild when you can say the same thing about him, right? I'm just saying. But the extent that these people are willing to bully, I'm about to prove to you the extent that these people are willing to bully. Now, let me ask you this. Why would they bully people so hard if they have proof that their story's true? If they have all this evidence and proof that their story was true, and why would they feel they need to go out and bully creators who don't agree with them? Make that make sense.
Sounds fishy as fuck. Just saying.
Sure does. Why do you need to bully people to put your story out? And you know what? For those people who were bullied into it, listen, man, get some self-respect and talk about what you want on your page.
Because what you're about to say is going to prove how wrong they are. Just saying.
So I'm going to tell you the story, guys. All right? And you know, Ivory comes with receipts. I'm never going to tell you something that I can't prove. All right? Now, these people were bullying not only the other creators who have all reached out to me, and I want to invite anybody who's had an interaction with them and were bullied by them. I want you to come up here and talk about it, because you know what, guys? You can have an opinion and your content can be about whatever the hell you want it to be about. But I'll be goddamned if people think that they're going to bully me off an app because I ain't pushing out your narrative or pushing out your GoFundMe. That shit ain't going to happen, not on my page. I'm sorry, not sorry, okay? Number one, I was also bullied by them. Do we all remember the videos that Sandy was adding me at? Now, let me explain those videos because I didn't address them, but I will now. Sandy put out a video saying that she asked me to go live. I was willing to go over to Ivory Rose Nose's page and let her eat me alive. No, she didn't. I ran the entire video. Then she goes on later on and goes, but you see, because you're stalking me, she went on live all by herself because she's scared that she doesn't want to go live with me. First of all, anybody who knows Ivory Rose knows that if I'm speaking about it, I'll debate it because it's debatable. And I don't speak about anything I don't have facts on. So there's that. Okay? But let's also talk about your bullying, Brad Bradley and Sandy Ann. If your theory is so true, why do you got to go bully creators on the app? So you know what? I was absolutely fed up with it. I was tired of it. I wasn't going to do it anymore. I am not going to have content creators who are sitting out here they should be able to speak about whatever the hell they want. And instead, they're getting bullied. They're getting bullied for it. Because why? Because first of all, I am starting to wonder more and more about Brad Bradley because of his aggressive ways. The man's never shed a tear, never showed an emotion. The only emotion those people ever showed has been aggression. That's not concerning in and of itself, that the only emotion you people know how to show is aggression. Why?
Clock it.
So now let me go on to say, hold on one second. Hey, crime. So I'm going to go on and tell my story really quick. So you want to take over, Sam?
Yeah, I'll take over.
Go ahead.
So, you want me to just explain what I did? Okay, I have a Facebook page I've had for a couple years that is old. I have it under Stephanie Bird. And I got it because I wanted to look at the Pierce County crime in my area, and they didn't let me in the group for some reason, but whatever. So I went ahead and I took a clipping that I don't think you got. Do you guys remember the clipping that went around of it was supposedly Ivory, but it wasn't, doing rugs? You guys remember that?
Fake mugshot photos.
Mugshot.
They put that fake
Yes.
mugshot that wasn't me about the whole being an M head, right?
Yes, so-
Y'all remember that?
I joined the group on Facebook under that page, and I messaged in the group anonymously. I said, can I speak to an admin? Then I saw Sandy Ann's profile. So I messaged her the article in the mugshot, and she got back to me within 5 minutes. And I have a whole message. We have all the messages back and forth that are not true. We wanted to see if she'd ran with it, and apparently she did.
I wanted to see the level that she would go to bully people off this app, to see if she would worry about doxing, to see if she would worry about putting out misinformation, to think that she was going to scare people. And that's exactly what she did. So go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I have to plug in my charger before I die.
So she was asking questions, and she was like, well, was she was it charged, or was it
She said, was she
something like,
charged or
was she
convicted?
completely charged and convicted? And I was like, well, I'm not sure. And then she sent me messages of another woman and goes, is this her? And I go, you know what? It might be. I wouldn't be surprised. She asked me, how did you get this information? I said, how did you know it was her her real name? And I said, well, it's been gone around before on TikTok, and I've just been watching. And she goes, wow, that's the reason she is the way she is. And we were basically talking about, I said, oh, she's got a lot of probably hidden skeletons and issues. So
what did she do? Sandy Ann had her minions posting those articles in my comments. Exactly what I knew she would do, because they believed that it was me. Meanwhile, I know it's not me. So again, and I will prove it. Here you go. Guys, remind me how I do the damn.
You got to go to effects on your camera.
Did they change this?
I don't know. Okay. Oh, your gut curlers.
I like that little curler.
Okay. So I may not have been able to download them all. Do you have them canceled? I thought I got them.
I can resend them. You want me to send them in Gmail?
Or do you want me to put you in the big box, Sam?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me put
I
Sam
don't know how to do the thing. Okay.
The green screen?
Yeah.
You go like you're going to turn on your camera, and then you go to effects. Do you want me to put you up? Or can you guys see that behind Ivory? Hold on. Let's turn off the comments.
Oh, there you go.
So this is the picture. You can't really see the picture because the screenshot is horrible. This is the information that Sandy Ann was sending back to Sam. And then
Yes,
that is the
that
comment
is what
that
she
Sandy
sent me.
Ann's minion stuck right in my comments. She took the bait. This is the extent that these people are willing to go to bully the content creators on this app. You see, she didn't know that we sent it to her ourselves. And so she had somebody drop it for her because, she's got to keep her hands clean. But that is the extent that these people are willing to go to sit there and bully people. And you know what I find is really funny? Be careful with defamation. And you couldn't have that great of investigators if you actually believed that was me. If those are the same investigators you all got working on finding Amy, you probably want to shop around. Because I can assure you, I'm not a registered nurse and an MHead. You should probably do your homework before you put out misinformation, people.
Ooh.
Because you see, I may be putting out information, but I did my homework. And instead, you want to go and you want to bully the crap out of people on this app. Why do you feel the need to bully people on this app if you have proof that your story is right? If you're not falsely accusing a man, why do you feel the need to make sure everybody's on board telling the same story? Truth speaks for itself, right? If it were the truth, then true crime content creators are not dumb. We know what y'all had for breakfast 6 Augusts ago on the 3rd, okay? So if the truth is the truth, then why are you having to defend the truth so bad? Let the truth speak for itself. We should all just see the evidence right in front of us, right? It's so clear as day that Yellow kidnapped Amy off that ship. We should all just see it. Plain as day. Except it's not plain as day. It's not plain as day. Every theory is possible. So for you to sit there and threaten and bully people, you barked up the wrong tree. I warned you, all of you. Don't come at me. Because I did my homework. I did my homework on your family. You really want to know why I have my theories? Maybe I'll tell you. I don't say anything without being able to pull a receipt. So be very careful when you want to be out there bullying. Why are you bullying content creators so bad if you're telling the truth? If your version of events is the truth. And this is coming from Sandy, who wasn't even fucking there. Right? Sandy's talking crap, but she wasn't even there. I'm just saying. And I am not the only content creator they have been coming after. I have talked to content creators who have changed their theory out of fear, so they're out pushing the Bradley's narrative because they're scared. That's the kind of information y'all are getting. You're getting information from scared content creators who feel that they have no choice other than to push the narrative of the Bradley family.
Or else.
Or else.
The fuck.
Or else. What happened to me today? You see, they thought they had the upper hand. They thought that that really was my information. They didn't do their homework. I fed it to you, Sandy. And you ate it right out of my hand and played right into it. You are absolutely bullying content creators to push your narrative. Now that's a question. Who just asked that question? Telly, that's a great question. Why would they have to do that? Why does the Bradley family have to bully content creators? Isn't that the question? If what they're saying is true, and their narrative and their story and all this proof that they have, why do you have to bully content creators to push your narrative or to push your GoFundMe? You would think by now, all this proof that you say you have, that Yellow kidnapped Amy, that everyone would just be on board with it. The proof is obvious, right? No, it's not. I literally got people in my comment section talking about, I said proof, I said evidence, not proof. I'm like, are we for real having these conversations? You have to bully people to keep your narrative going. Why? Tell me how that is not a red flag. For those of you who want to believe everything that Bradley family is telling you, you got to wonder why. Why are they pushing that? If they're speaking the truth, then it's like, whatever. You're always going to have content creators that don't agree with you, right? Why do you feel the need to bully people? So I don't know if there are any other content creators in here who would like to speak on it, but let me tell you something. I don't change my theory. I don't change what I talk about. I am true to who I am. I have a lot of my followers don't agree with what I say all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should do their own homework and look into it on their own. I say that all the time. But I can assure you, nobody should be bullying anybody on here for doing any kind of content.
And what's alarming is she was so quick to accept a stranger's message and then take that at my word when I don't even have a profile picture. Nothing. So
Yep.
I was like, wow, because I was shocked how easy it was for her to reply And she had a full-fledged hours long conversation where I had to keep logging back in to check her messages, and this was 6 days ago. So she and I hate to say this, but and you're a news anchor, or you work for the news, and you didn't do your due diligence.
Sandy's dumb as fuck.
Exactly. Now, do I completely blame Sandy for this? No. Because she's doing nothing but pushing Brad Bradley's narrative, isn't she?
What's in it for her?
Be very careful with defamation. Be very careful with what you put out there. Because I absolutely have the proof that I sent it to you. I absolutely have the proof that the girl who posted that is on your post all the time. I love you and this family, and I see the minion. Make sure that your minion is willing to be sued for you.
And I have the video. I screen recorded the messages too. So if anybody wants to say, oh, those are fake, I screen recorded the whole thing as well.
What I want to know is, what do they get out of bullying content creators to push their narrative? And you know what? All these content creators that you're watching that are pushing their exact words, you really got to question whether or not they themselves believe it. I will never lie to my followers. I've been true to my word from day one. I'm just saying, don't let anybody bully you into your content. That's absolutely wild to me, that people are afraid to post or make a comment because you will come after them. You guys wouldn't even, you can't even imagine how many people have come to me. Ivory, I'm being bullied so bad. I don't know what to do. I had to stop speaking about it. I agree with your comment, but I can't say it because if I comment on your page, they're going to come after me. So why would they need to bully the content creators into pushing their narrative?
Can I just say one thing? Somebody said, well, I believe the Bradleys. And I said, that's fine.
That's
In the
fine.
comments, the bullying is not fine. You can believe any theory. That's okay. It's a theory.
Absolutely.
It's not proven fact. It's a theory and an opinion.
Can believe anything they want to. I suggest you look at facts. I suggest you look at hard evidence. I suggest you don't take anything that is influenced by anybody. But you are more entitled to believe you're entitled to believe anything you want. I never tell my followers, I am true to my followers. Every single one of you, especially the ones who have been here from day one, know that I always tell you, don't believe me. Look at it for yourself. If I have a receipt, I will show it. If it's my opinion, I will say it. But I never tell you to believe me. I always tell you to do your own homework. There's nothing wrong with believing their theory. Nothing wrong with believing their theory. The problem is the bullying. Anybody should be able to speak about anything that they want on their page. They should not be forced into pushing a narrative that they don't believe in because they're afraid that they're going to be attacked. Let me tell you something. You think for 1 second that I don't know that they've been coming after my page? I've been demonetized. You told you barked up the wrong tree, though. I ain't playing. You came to the wrong person aggressively. Don't come at me. I'll talk about whatever I want to. I personally don't believe your narrative. And I think that there is a reason you're pushing that narrative so hard. I question the Bradley family. I absolutely do. Is that they are not the victims. Amy Bradley is the victim. Social media has been out for decades. What have they been doing for decades? I absolutely question their theory and why they push it so hard. I absolutely question why they're so aggressive, and that's the only emotion they can show. Has anybody here ever seen the man look upset, tear up, anything? Look sad at all when he talks about it? No emotion. The only emotion I've ever seen them show is aggression.
I'll speak on my story a little bit.
Go ahead, Crime.
I can't say that, I'll try to make this quick. I can't say that like I feel like I was like terribly bullied like you have been, obviously, but also I'm a very small creator. But when Brad first reached out to me, I was really excited. I was like, oh, I'm a small creator. I'm going to get to talk to Amy's family. And I was with the trafficking theory. But in his messages, he was kind, but he was very bold, almost like he was directing me on how the narrative of my page should be, because I had gotten some things wrong, or in his perspective, they were wrong, because they were my beliefs and my theories. Like there was no way she got off to get rugs or whatever. And whatever, I just let it slide. And then he seen an old video. Well, I started pushing my content more towards him, like for the family after that. And then he seen an old video of mine that had said something about the rugs and all of that stuff. And he messaged me again. And he was just very stern on I was wrong, basically making me feel okay, this is hard because he was kind, like I said, but he made me feel like, hey, I told you this was wrong. Why did you put out another video about it? Mm-hmm. So I told him, I said, that was before I talked to you. And he's like, glad to hear that. And I think that's about the last time I ever talked to him, because then I talked to James Renner, just barely, like it was nothing. And I've spoken to Kat. And then Sandy put out a video and mentioned me and a couple other creators. And she wasn't terrible, but she was like, girl, I see what you're doing, Crime Talk, and you're just talking to the wrong people. So I started talking to my husband and my girlfriend about it, and they're like, this seems like they're trying to control what you put on your page. Mm-hmm. And I immediately blocked them from there and haven't spoken to them since. I have no ill will towards them, because I don't want to bully them either. I don't want anybody to be bullying anybody, but I did not like the way that they made me feel, and I blocked them from there. Haven't spoken to them since.
Yeah. I get that when you're a creator and these people reach out to you, it's like, oh man, you know what I mean? And I get that, I just feel like to try and turn people's opinion, or again, tell them what they should be posting about, is absolutely not okay. Especially if they're so positive that their information is correct with all the proof that they have to back up their theory, then why do you feel the need to be aggressive or go after people for it? None of it makes sense.
Ivory, do you mind if I just say one quick little
Hey, what's up?
excerpt? How are you?
Good.
Great. I know you and I have talked very, very briefly. And I agree, right? Like, I think a lot of people here know how I operate. I don't ever disrespect any other creators. I don't think you've done it either. I don't think anybody underneath my name here, Crime Talks Method, no one does, right? I think we all are Team Amy. And I've said to you 100%, I'm not a fan of the bullying either. I'm not. I said it to Crime Talk earlier, like that's just not how any of us should operate. I don't agree with it. If you have a stance, you have a stance. I have a stance, I have a stance. Your name actually came up, and that's why I wanted to say it, is because I don't believe in talking behind people's backs. Your name came up in my live right before this, and I don't know if you heard it or if anyone came back to, but I was just like, I got nothing against her. I mean, she has her stance. She's never been disrespectful to me. I've never been disrespectful to her. She's just trying to get answers. Just because she stands here and I stand here, there's no problem with that. Like, it is what it is. And that's exactly all I said. So I wanted to make sure you heard it from my words right there, that, that's how I am. I think we all want the same answers for the same person, and that's where it should be. And I think that there should be an equal level of respect across the board.
I absolutely agree. I've watched your content. You know that I watch your content. And again, I don't agree with everything you say, but it doesn't make you wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
You push out what you believe. There's nothing wrong with that. I respect that.
Yeah, 100%. Same here.
I don't respect people bullying creators into pushing a narrative. That's what I have an issue with.
Right.
Ivory, can you recap for the people that just came in?
So
about
I'm just going over that there's been a lot of bullying happening from the Bradley family, that camp. I don't want to say because Sandy Ann, I don't think is family. However, there's been a lot of bullying content creators from the Bradley family group over there on that side. And so I'm just absolutely fed up with it, guys. There's nothing wrong with the different theories. Like Grind just said, we all want to know what actually happened to Amy. There's nothing proven. Anybody who says that there is actual proof is wrong. That is not the truth. You can sit there and you can speculate all you want, but there's very little proof of anything. Okay? So any theory actually fits. And the fact that people have different theories, this is what true crime is all about, guys. It's questioning everybody. If the family gets questioned, they should be questioned. Everybody should be questioned when you're looking at a true crime case. All right? You don't let emotions get in the way. Oh, the poor family. Everybody gets questioned. But you don't get to bully people because the narrative is different. And that's my problem. This family is now bullying people because you're not agreeing with them or pushing the narrative that they want you to push, or to push the GoFundMe. They came aggressively at me for that as well. I don't push GoFundMes. I don't. It's not allowed on my page. I don't mess with money. You guys all know that about me. Don't come in. Don't drop aggressively. Drop your GoFundMe. I don't agree with it. That's not being me being rude. That's just me being me. This is my page. And nobody has the right to my content or my page. I am not obligated to speak for anybody. I am only obligated to my followers to speak about what I believe. And so the bullying from that camp has absolutely got to stop. So what I ended up doing was Sam ended up going on Facebook because I was going to prove that they were bullying. You think that nobody sees Sandy Ann making the nasty videos of people and then taking them down? What, do you think that we don't have them? I've played them for you each and every time. I've seen them. I am not, for anybody who knows me as a content creator knows what, I will debate with the best of them. If I believe in what I believe in, I will debate with the best of them. People don't scare me. I am not that person. I told Brad Bradley originally when you wanted to come aggressively into my messages, you're barking up the wrong tree. I don't get intimidated. So Sam went and she messaged Sandy Ann on Facebook and gave her some false information about me because I wanted to see how far they were willing to go to bully people. So I said, if she bites, she bites. And what happened? Sandy Ann bit. But be careful giving that information and dropping that in comments and accusing me of being an M-head because I'm a registered nurse and I will absolutely sue for defamation. Do I have that proof? I absolutely have the proof. I have the entire conversation. So you took the bait and you ran with it. Why? Why do you feel the need to put out, first of all, you're a TV anchor, I need you to do better, okay? Make sure what you're putting out there is true. I'm just saying. So why would we believe people who can't even go and validate information on social media? That's number one. And we're supposed to believe that your theory of what happened to Amy Bradley's true? No. No. Sorry. I validate. You should probably try doing the same. But don't sit there and try and drop in my comments like you're scaring me and intimidating me because I know exactly who I am. And I won't allow people to be bullied. Get off my page. Don't come at me. I know you watch me. I know you stalk me. Don't drop articles that I handed you in my comment section because I called you out. You are absolutely trying to spread misinformation about people to bully them because they won't push your narrative. And I will scream that, and 100% that is not okay to any creator. Now, listen, it's harder to get me because I'm a little bit bigger. But first of all, you think I haven't seen all of the false reporting that you did to get me demonetized? That don't hurt me. You think for 1 second, 20, probably at least 20 content creators who originally spoke on Amy Bradley came to me talking about, I'm being bullied. I don't know what to do. I can't even comment on videos. That's not okay, guys. Everybody's allowed to talk about whatever they want on their page. You should not be afraid. Who the hell is Brad Bradley? Other than a suspect, or he should be, in his sister's disappearance. Just like everybody else. Who the hell are you, Sandy Ann? Who do you people think you are? You want to sit there and cry like you're the victims, but yet you want to sit there and try and attack people because they ain't pushing a story that you can't prove to be true? Because if you could prove it to be true, this whole situation would have gone differently, right? You've had 30 years to prove Yellow was guilty. I'm just saying. Thank you, Grind.
You're welcome, Evan. Have a good rest of your night. I appreciate what you're doing here.
You too.
Take care. Bye.
Guys, go give Grind a follow. He does good content. He's all about Amy Bradley, so make sure you guys are giving everybody on this panel a follow because we all do the same content. We all put in the same, time and effort to give our content. Stop blaming the family. How about you tell the family to stop bullying creators? How about that?
Yeah, how about you tell the family to stop getting a random Facebook message with a mugshot of someone else and saying it's Ivory, and then having their follower or friend post it in her comment section and be very cocky about it, like it's proven, and it's not. How about we do that? How about we stop doing that and let people go with theories? Because it looks awfully odd. You are fighting so hard to say somebody is like Yellow is the man who hurt your sister. If that's the case, then don't you think the FBI would be doing more about it? Don't you think? No, they don't have a proven fact, so it is all theory. And you put it out on the internet, you put it out on Netflix and social media. You expect in this day and age somebody not to have an opinion? Get real. That's your own doing.
And if you were really all about finding the truth about what happened to Amy Bradley, then you wouldn't get tunnel vision on one theory because you don't know that she was trafficked. Do you know the probability that she was trafficked off that ship by Yellow? Guys, it's almost 0%. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Ivory, for letting me up. I'm sorry I missed earlier, but the probability, I've looked up all of these statistics, and I know you have too. You did a video about this.
Mhm.
I can't, I mean, yes, people go missing on cruise ships, but I can't find one other case where someone goes missing and there's no one suspects trafficking if they go missing.
Right.
This is the only case where, so even kidnapping, there have been a couple cases of kidnapping, but they haven't been on commercial cruise liners. They've been more on, I'm sorry, commercial if I'm using that wrong, but they've been on more industrial cruise liners, right?
Mhm.
Like container ships. So it's extremely rare for someone to go missing under these circumstances where the family is suspicious about kidnapping.
Mhm. Yeah. I completely agree. Someone just said in the comments, well, what about the pictures that look like her? They just dropped a picture of a woman who is arrested for method, okay, that they're trying to say is me because it might look like me. So really, really going to trust these people to say that that's Amy Bradley? Guys, there's no proof. You mean to tell me that that picture was Amy Bradley? And what? Where is she? Where is she? There are a lot of doppelgangers out there. There are a lot of people that look alike out there. So, I mean, what about all of the other people that when she wasn't in duress, she wasn't under duress. What about those people? Why don't we ever look at anything that doesn't show that she's being trafficked? I mean, one woman honestly thought she saw her at that, what was it, like a truck stop or something that closed down. You guys know what I'm talking about? The one woman honestly thought that she saw her. And Brad Bradley's going to be like, oh, because these people want to sit there and act like they see her. So only, again, that's not helpful if you thought you saw her and you send it to them. That's not helpful because it doesn't, that she wasn't trafficked. She wasn't being trafficked. Like, make it make sense. 30 years, there's no proof of life, guys. 30 years. I'm just saying, you have paid investigators and you guys have supposedly traveled down there looking for her. What'd you find? First of all, what I'm curious to ask is, how many times have you guys went down there to look for her in the last 30 years? How many times? If I thought, and I truly believed, that my sister or my daughter was trafficked in Curacao or Barbados, you think that I wouldn't be there every summer, every year for 30 years?
I've been speaking to a lifelong Islander of Curacao, and I don't want to name names, but she claims that nobody has been back there since Brad and Ron were there the weeks after Amy disappeared.
Exactly.
And nobody from the island really even knows Amy or has heard of the story until Netflix. And she brought this up to Brad respectfully, and she sent me what he sent back to her. And of course, we know how that went. He bullied her and told her to go hide in her hole. And you know what? Another thing I just want to throw out there too, on the whole bullying thing, I think what threw me with Brad and Sandy was when they started attacking Renner and Kat. And I'm not saying like I side with Renner. I don't think he's that bad of a guy, honestly. But I don't know him that well. But when they like went so hard, like he calls him an a-hole and a moron every chance he gets. And actually he calls any creator a moron if you listen to his interviews. Yeah.
I'm gonna go an asshole. Sorry.
Every interview he calls somebody a moron for having a different theory. And I was like, I was done after that. I can't do that.
If they were truly trying to find out what really happened to Amy, then they can't definitely say this theory didn't happen, this theory didn't happen. You can't say, as a matter of fact, Yellow kidnapped her off that ship. You can't say that. You can't say that. If you are truly looking for real life answers, then everything has got to be an option. Then you have to look at all of it. You don't just look at, first of all, let me see if I can pull this up. Do I have it somewhere? Hold on.
Can I ask a question? And this might be silly. If he keeps doing that, like blaming Yellow or the cruise line, could he get in trouble and sued for defamation?
As far as I know, in Crime Talk, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, aren't they under a gag order from Royal Caribbean?
Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah.
He cannot say I don't know if it's a gag order, but he cannot say Royal Caribbean. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, and then you had Sandy Ann claiming that Royal Caribbean is paying you, Ivory. So what's that about? That's freaking
Again,
crazy.
the defamation is unreal. First of all, I wish Royal Caribbean was, because I would totally put it out there. I don't believe their story. Did you guys all see this?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
This makes my stomach turn.
So what
It's a
this
joke.
is, it's
It's
a
a
little
joke.
bit big. I know you guys can't see it too well, okay? But if you go to Brad Bradley's X page, the question is, who do you think is responsible for the disappearance of my sister Amy? He put Alistair Douglas, Christopher Douglas, Yellow, and then the roommate and Yellow. Those were the options, all Yellow. Nobody finds anything wrong with this. Nobody finds it concerning that they're out there making accusations, accusing people with no proof. The FBI, Interpol, all these people investigated. They had no proof that the man did anything, and you're going to still sit here and accuse him? Couldn't we all accuse Brad Bradley? Who's to say that they didn't get into a fight on that balcony? And Brad Bradley himself said, I don't believe she didn't jump. She didn't fall over. The only way, Brad Bradley said, the only way Amy went overboard was if she was thrown. So, Brad, you were the last one on the balcony with her, dude. FBI says they don't believe she ever left the room. So, like, Yellow didn't go and accuse you. Because honestly, you're just as suspect as Yellow. In my opinion, when I look at this case, I haven't been able to cross your name off my list.
And he's the most aggressive one of all.
And he's the most aggressive one of all.
I've just never seen anything like this, and how aggressive and rude, and just like Pink said, Sandy Ann saying, oh, she's being paid by probably Royal Caribbean. Oh, she's probably being paid. Didn't she say Yellow?
First, I was being paid by Yellow.
I want people to really think, does that sound credible? Those accusations, somebody saying that, and make you go, you know what? You're right. This conspiracy theory is correct. No.
Do we really want to go and throw out things like that? Because, well, maybe Brad Bradley's pushing Yellow out of guilt to cover up his own lies. I'm just saying, don't come at me. Don't sit there and throw accusations when you're a suspect as much as Yellow is. I don't care what anybody says. When you look at this as an actual crime, you cannot be written off. You are still a suspect, just like Yellow would still be a suspect then. Because there's no proof that you didn't toss your sister overboard.
Can I also state, before July 17th on Twitter, if you go back and look, there's nothing about Amy. If he was that concerned, he started Twitter in like 2022 or 2020. You would be posting about your sister, and wouldn't it make you have a Netflix documentary, and then the day after it debuts, then post all about it? You'd be posting years prior and having these groups, right?
Because
So
he said
why-
they've been actively searching this whole time.
Yeah.
But yet they didn't use social media. They didn't use, the only thing they used was a website and a GoFundMe. I'm just
He
saying.
was on Twitter saying all
Well-
other types of shit before that, though.
The GoFundMe is new. The GoFundMe,
Right. It wasn't a GoFundMe before. It was they took donations through the website.
yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't know if that was Samantha or Pink that was saying that. To their point, about the social media activity since the documentary came out. Yeah, we've listened to all of the interviews, how they have never stopped searching, and they have a war room, and they do all of this. Social, like, this isn't new. Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, and you could have.
Hold on, my earbud went dead. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. But there wasn't, I don't see the work product. They say they've been working, but I don't see like results of the work that they've been doing. Because, like, for example, oh, maybe scaffolding and maybe the window washers were out. Well, the boat wasn't out.
First of all, the scaffold, I can't even. I don't even know what to say about that. Like
Yeah,
that's
and I don't want to change the
makes
subject
most
because
sense.
the conversation, like, there is so many things that we could discuss, and I don't want to call anybody out because I really enjoy every creator's content. I watch it all. I watch Laugh and Grind. I watch his lives. I watch Cotty's lives. But I feel like there is a lot more meat to talk about, and we're kind of avoiding it because it's offensive conversation. I'm not offended by it, but also I'm not the Bradleys, but also I find the Bradleys suspicious. So it's like we're in this weird cycle of like, it's impolite to say this about the Bradleys. However, the only conversation we can have about this case is impolite questions. Otherwise, we are just grief grifting about the case. That's it. I get so passionate, you guys. And one more thing about the Paid by Royal Caribbean. They've called me a nobody, and I kind of am. I don't have a picture on my thing. I'm a private account. I really kind of am a nobody. I just found Twitter a couple months ago because of Karen Reed and then this case, right? So, but like, I feel like, well, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a creator, but I comment, but I'm a shit talker, right? You guys know that. And so they've even accused me of being paid. And it's kind of like, this is ridiculous. I'm not even, like, this is my hobby. I'm just passionate about this case. Doesn't make sense. I'm not passionate about the Adelson case because that wouldn't make sense. But this one there is a lot that doesn't make sense. So we can go down the scaffolding route. We can go down the yellow route. But it all leads us back to the balcony between 4 and 7 a.m.
Yes, I agree. And I agree with what you said when it comes to, listen, when you're into true crime and you're actually trying to look at a case and really trying to find out what happened to Amy Bradley, you can't be, oh, the poor family emotions. The family is just as suspect as everybody else who had contact with Amy Bradley. Until you can prove to me that they didn't do anything, they are just as suspect. But to sit there and accuse a man constantly of doing it with no proof is absolutely crazy. When everybody could be accusing him, the problem is they don't because there's no proof.
What I'm wondering, oh, I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
is Brad has also thrown out a couple other theories, right? Other than Yellow, the Scientology girls, the window cleaners. What has changed that he is now blowing up Yellow like this? I mean, he always kind of has, but you know what I'm saying? Like, suddenly he's making this joke, I feel like, out of this case, which is really weird. But I don't know. He just suddenly is going so hard at Yellow, like he knows for a fact. What happened? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I don't know if it's because deflection. Yes, Mercy. I don't know if it's because people started, he thinks that it's content creators that made people question him. But what actually made people question Brad Bradley was his behavior.
Yeah.
People started seeing his behavior, and that's why they're questioning him, not because of content creators. That's what I don't think he understands. It's your behavior and your aggression that are making people question you. Because if you can sit there and you can be so nasty and so threatening and bully people that you don't know online, like you do, when, let's be real, we're all just trying to find out what happened to Amy Bradley. Imagine what he could do to his family or people that he actually knows. It really makes you question who he is behind closed doors then, if you can act like that to people you don't know out in public on a social media platform. It really makes you question him. And they're questioning him because of his behavior. Excuse me.
Is he aggressive with men too, or does he only do this to women?
I think he only does this to women.
That's a really good question.
But, well, if you look at Crime Weekly,
There's very few. I'm trying to think. I think there's, well, when you look at the content creators, I feel like there's more female true crime content creators. Although I've seen him be aggressive in male content creators' comments.
but if you look at all of his interviews, like he did an interview early on, right after the Netflix came out with Mike from the Young Jerks. He did, I would say most of the interviews he did were with men. There was probably 3 women that interviewed him. But I mean, everybody who gets him for an interview is extremely gentle.
Yeah.
Or it maybe early on they were gentle. Maybe because I mean, I think that we're starting to be keen on this story after a couple of months.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to the social media where Brad started going hard on Yellow. I don't know that Brad understood how social media works when he started speaking out, because he went everywhere. And if you, I mean, we watch cases. This is a hobby, right? We watch trials. We hang on to every word and dissect everything. And then he says, well, I don't know if I want to release the IP address stuff because we're still investigating. He doesn't realize that the internet would solve that immediately. Put the information out there, put the IP address stuff out there. The internet will figure it out for you. He keeps a lot of things extremely close. Oh, I can't talk about that. I
Or
can't.
he does realize
Why is he
with the internet.
gatekeeping this if he truly
Yeah,
wants this to be
right.
solved?
He doesn't realize the internet solves, and we've been not me, I don't solve anything, but we've been doing this for years. The internet has been doing this for many years, where they get all up in the shit of the case. I don't think he gets that.
He realized that when he came out with this, I really thought that in his mind, enough time passed that the discrepancies and inconsistencies in the story, people wouldn't realize. It's been so much time. I don't think he realized that true crime content creators know what you ate for breakfast that morning on the ship. Like, that's how deep we dive. You know what I mean? We're going to find it. If it exists, we will find it. And I don't think he was prepared for that. I really think in his mind of minds that he waited so long and he really thought people weren't going to pick up, the stuff from the beginning, the stuff from back in 1998, that we weren't going to look at those articles. We were just going to let that go and listen to what he has to say today. I don't think he thought that the inconsistencies were going to be brought up, or the court cases.
Yeah, the court cases are, I think, we talk about early on, like a month ago when we started discussing this, we were talking about timelines, and we were more referring to a timeline as, what happened between, I don't know, midnight and 6 a.m. But I think that something that could help us more is looking at the timeline for the last 27 years.
Right.
What happened the first month, the second month, the third month, the first year, the second year, the third year, because that tells a story as well. I think that one thing that turned me on to this case, because I was a Karen Reed whatever, and I was watching The Young Jerks, and Brad went on to Mike The Young Jerks very early, and I was so triggered by how he began the conversation, where if you believe she went over, you're not going to help. He pretty much said that. I can't remember his exact words, but he was extreme. Brad's narrative has changed over the last month.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's not just the last 27 years. He is watching everything we're saying. He reads all the comments. He is adapting his story.
His story to fit what we are saying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's filling in blanks that he thinks that we have. And it's crazy. But I think one thing that would be beneficial is to look at the entire 27-year story and all of those court documents. Anything that we can get that's on paper and legally binding is extremely important.
Yes.
And I sit in the bleachers and talk a lot of shit. I don't do anything, but I want to be a part of the conversation.
Right. I agree. I think that court hearing, okay, I think that whole lawsuit also plays a big part in all of this. I mean, you sit there and you talk about inconsistencies with Yellow, and y'all lied to the court. Like, why is nobody talking about that? They perjured themselves. They perjured themselves in the court. Like, I don't know. Like, that's not concerning to anybody. Like, that's not giving red flags that you were so willing to push this narrative for a payday that you literally lied to the court under oath and everything. So, I don't know. I question that too. Exactly. Everybody has lied. So you can't sit there and say that, well, Yellow's timeline was inconsistent, and are we for real? Because so was his. So was his. The events and what happened that night, the stories come, they go, they leave pieces out, they don't think we'll find it, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know. I think that ultimately we all want to know what happened to Amy Bradley. I don't believe that, I really hope that we can find out, but I feel like the tunnel vision and trying to just accuse Yellow, guys, what if the man's innocent? Like, what if that man is innocent and had absolutely nothing to do with it? And he is being framed by Brad Bradley. Is that really fair? Everybody wants to run to Brad Bradley's defense, but what about Yellow? There's no proof that man did it. Guys, you're running on the word of a man who's lied and been inconsistent for 27 years. Like, it's one thing to say Yellow did it if you can show some proof. Show some actual proof. Don't give me that the two girls that you were hanging out with at the nightclub that ran up to you 2 days later when you finally reboarded the ship and told you that they saw Yellow with her. That's some bullshit. That's not fact. That is not proof of anything. Even the FBI couldn't corroborate the timeline when that whole thing went down. So there's not fact in that. And that's what you're writing on? Oh, he had $60,000. Said who? Says who? Show me the proof that he came back from working that ship with $60,000, Brad. You're telling people this, but where's the proof? You're throwing accusations harder at this man, and you can't even say you know for a fact he did anything. The FBI questioned him. They polygraphed him. Why aren't we talking about the polygraphs? Now, Brad Bradley wants to go out there and say, yeah, their family was taken to the Richmond office and they were polygraphed. And what happened with the polygraph? Do you have proof of said polygraph? The FBI didn't give you any proof that you would just, there's nothing, no proof that you had a polygraph done. No proof of the results, like you got nothing to show. Proof that you took a polygraph. You're just out here and we're all going to take you at your word after you lied to the court. So, I mean, start backing up some of the stuff you're saying. Show proof you took a polygraph, then show proof that you passed it because you said you took it. But nobody said anything about passing them. Now, I can say I've read a couple of books and I've seen a couple of articles, although, again, this is where I'm going to say I can't validate it. However, if you go back to these books that were written back in the day, they say that Ron's came back, one false and the second inconclusive. I can't say that to be fact. That is not fact. I have not been able to validate that. But that sure as hell did make me question if you're going to be out here telling the entire internet and the entire public that you took polygraphs. Well, why wouldn't you just go the extra 5 words and say, and we passed them? Like we're just
So where
assuming that he passed them?
what was the source of the polygrapher?
I have to give it, I can send it to you. It was a book that was written about the crime. Actually, I think it was 2 of them. But
And while you're looking at that, I want to address, I don't read the comments normally, but someone said, why won't Yellow come to the States? Yellow's never lived in the States. He
Yeah.
doesn't live here. This is not, I don't know why Yellow coming to the States has anything to do. Yellow is always, disagree with me, please challenge me. Yellow is always cooperated, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yellow
he took every
volunteered
meeting.
the interview. Yellow volunteered the polygraph. He absolutely did.
And the FBI went to Grenada to interview him, I
Yes.
think 2 times, based on the documentary. So I don't think Yellow has to come to this United States. He doesn't live here. He never lived here. The FBI has gone to Yellow to interview him, and he's cooperated. Brad would like Yellow to be interrogated again, but I don't know that we need to interrogate him because he's always cooperated. Like,
I want
so
to see the results of
this is
his
how
investigation. I
words
want to see
matter.
what the FBI has to say about they had to have interrogated the family. I mean, that's like Detective 101. I want to
Well,
know
okay.
what came of that.
So here's my theory on the FBI because if you do follow true crime, you follow how the FBI operates in other cases. So what we know is that the FBI operates silently. And we also know that they do not
Yeah.
press charges unless it's like 100%. They don't
Yes.
lose. Unless there is 100% like evidence, they're not going to do that. I think the FBI, as both the Yellow and the FBI have said, multiple interviews. I think two polygraphs, minimally one polygraph. I think two. And I think that if the FBI showed up at Yellow's door, he would talk to them. James
His,
Renner. James Renner showed up on Yellow's door unannounced because we always like talk about Yellow, but Yellow's not an internet guy. He's an island Granada, like super poor. Like it's not this American society that we think. It's just not. He's not an internet guy. I'm sure he's not listening to us, but I think Brad is. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I think Yellow's a little unbothered by this. I mean, he's bothered, but he's not, I mean, he knows who he is and he knows what he's done. And Brad is just implicating him
Mhm.
over
Yeah.
Lori and Crystal. Lori and
I,
Crystal.
first of all, everything about all of this so-called proof is all hearsay. All through the Bradley family or hearsay from people who were not there. So how is anybody riding on any of that to be fact? Lori and Crystal approached Iva and Brad 2 days later when they reboarded the ship. Tell me how that could not have been, you know what I mean, how that conversation went down. Like, tell me that conversation wasn't influenced on when they saw him and what they saw them doing. And let's be real. You know what I mean? Same thing with Yellow's daughter. Are you really riding on a girl who wasn't born there with no facts? Where's the suitcase? Show me a picture. Where's this money? Mama said, Mama said, Mama said. Mama, the woman who was left by the man when he restarted a whole new family. So she's not upset and mad and just saying this shit to get back at him, and neither are you, right? This is all fact. Where's the proof?
That part bothers me so much, that everybody just believes the daughter who wasn't born and the mother who we haven't heard from.
Right.
Have you ever heard of a disgruntled, ex-baby mama?
What
My
I'm
hubby
saying.
has one. We now have custody of his oldest daughter. But for the first 5 years of her life, she was taught that her dad didn't love her and didn't care about her. Then her mom, long story, left the kids home alone. They had to call the police. We got her when she was 5. She's been with us ever since. And she knows none of that's the case. So I know from firsthand account how exes can be.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you really have to think about all of the evidence, guys. How come you're not questioning Yellow? Because he came back with $60,000. Says who? First of all, yeah, I think he's a little shady. Maybe he was dealing drugs. But where's the proof that had anything to do with Amy?
Yeah, you can't build a case on hearsay.
Yeah, like says who? You got proof of it?
I also seen I didn't do the math myself. I'm not good at math, but somebody, it was Don's actually, you know her, did the math on that $60,000. If he were on the cruise, I can't remember exactly, for like 9 months, 6 months, he would have made like $20,000. And if you converted that to Curacao money, it would have been about $60,000. I'm not saying that's what it is, but I mean, right, exactly.
Think about this too. The man worked on the ship for another 2 years. Guys, he worked on that ship for 2 more years. If he was
And
sex
that's why,
pull off the ship,
well, that's,
why would he
yeah.
be there for 2 more years? Come on.
Where are the other victims?
Right.
I mean,
Where's
come
the other
on.
people that were helping him? There's no way, if this whole situation of the sex trafficking did happen, there's no way Yellow pulled that off by himself. None.
And Brad would admit that. Brad would admit that by his poll earlier today, because it was option 4. Brad and other, or I'm sorry, excuse me, Yellow and others. Um, yeah, and well, see, the thing is, people go work on cruise ships because everything is covered. Like you're living, you're not paying rent, you're
You're
not
not
paying for food.
Yep.
So anybody who works on a cruise ship comes home with
Lots of money.
money. I mean, lots is relative, but if it was 60,000 US dollars in the late 90s, early 2000s, that man would have something to show for it. Yellow would have something to show for it.
Yeah.
You don't, and speaking of math, this is a really dark rabbit hole to go down, but if Amy was trafficked, there is math behind what is happening in her life,
Yeah.
right? How many, I don't even like to say it. This is so dark. How many visits per week? Let's go on the conservative side. I mean, come on. I, she's 51.
Yeah.
I cannot, I think it's absolutely disgusting to actually think of a woman of her age in that situation for 27 years.
Why would you want that to be the situation your sister's in at the moment?
Well,
That's just
the
wild to me.
reality that, we can, Brad, anyone can speak it all day, but the reality of it, especially if, I mean, it doesn't even matter sexual preference. It is a disgusting story to hold. It is mind-boggling to me that we think, and then I don't want to call anybody out because I really enjoy everybody's content, but some content creators will be like, well, there's value at all ages. Maybe she's a manager now. Fuck that noise. Sorry, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but
No, I hear you.
I mean, come the fuck on. Seriously. She was Brad's badass older sister who didn't need anybody to protect her. And we're supposed to believe what? Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
mute myself again. It's really bad. I'll go on. I'll go on forever.
No, I completely agree with you. I just feel like, I don't know. Like, where is the proof that she was trafficked? You got, my whole thing is, all right, there's so much wrong here. 27 years. Somebody tell me that if you've been investigating this and you've been paying these private investigators and collecting this money all these years to help this investigation, well, what's become of this 27-year investigation that you did on your own that's any better than the FBI? Like, what did you come up with then? Like, what'd you come up with? What evidence you got that they did it? What?
Yeah, goes back to the work product. If somebody's working on something for a very long time, they're gonna have results of their work. And there is not an official timeline. There's no official timeline. They're not sharing the IP. Like everything's cloudy, everything's murky. I can't, like, I'm trying to think. I asked Chat GPT this the other day. This is how nerdy I am about this case. But like if you were going to search for somebody, like what are the steps? And go ask Chat GPT this. Chat GPT knows all about the Amy Bradley case already. I don't have to even tell them about it. And they will lay out all of these things that you should be doing. And like the Bradleys aren't doing those things. It's more of I would say I'm reading this as more of a media campaign. It's more controlling a narrative. It's the way that the Bradleys are behaving is more of like I don't know if anybody's watching the Blake Lively case. It's more about controlling stories than the facts. Like if
Yeah,
Brad
I
was
agree.
coming out, he would have a list. He would have a timeline. He would have a list of facts. We all talk about, well, I'm a girl dad. I do these things. Like, really, what would you be? You would have documents that you would show on your live. You would be doing live streams every night with your PowerPoints behind you on
Yeah.
all of this stuff. But it's just so cloudy with the space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, also like the behavior, his stance on certain things, like lifestyle other people's lifestyles. If you go back into Twitter or X, you can see the replies, and to me, it's kind of like interesting. I'm not saying anything he is anything, but it's kind of weird, in my opinion.
My whole thing with his stance on his sister's sexuality is wild because he goes on and spends hours aggressively going at people and spends hours talking about how the documentary covered it and they wasted time covering it and how it's not a big deal. However, you're making it a big deal having to correct the information. Like, if it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. Then why are you making it a big deal? That makes no sense to me. If it's not a big deal, then don't make it an issue. The fact that you're saying it's no big deal but making it an issue is a red flag to me.
Well, in his Twitter, it is a big deal. Prior to July 17th, it
He
was a
tries to
big
sit there
deal
and
to
say
him.
they're coming after me because I'm a Trumper. Has nothing to do with you voting for Trump, dude. It has to do with the fact that you put homophobic messages up. Like, you were posting homophobic posts and racial posts. Like, come on, dude. I don't give a crap who you voted for. You were being homophobic. The same guy who says he totally accepted his sister being a lesbian or bi
And
or
the same
whatever it
guy
is
who's trying to
put out
frame a man of color without any evidence.
there. Exactly. And again, if she was trafficked off that ship, it was not just by Yellow. That means there had to have been at least a handful of people that helped her.
Handful.
At
Yep.
least. So what about the rest of them? Brad, who are those people? You got nothing, just Yellow?
And if we're talking about money, remember the $260,000 reward? So, I mean, we're talking about these small islands, these guys that work for like $15,000, $20,000 a year back in the late 90s. Come on. Somebody's not going to speak up for $260,000?
You
No
know what
one
I
has ever spoken up with all the reward money.
You know what I find questionable is they're still collecting money so they can investigate, right? They're paying all these investigators that apparently have come up with nothing. We've got no new info. So they went and they put mailboxes down around Barbados, Aruba, Curacao. Did you guys see that post that Sandy Ann put out?
Yeah.
I
They
did
put
see
out those
that.
boxes and said, if you know
Weird.
anything about Amy Bradley, it can be anonymous. Just drop your little note in here. Like, are we for freaking real?
That seems really counterproductive.
Like,
It's like a
that's
national
gonna
park
send
drop off.
Amy Bradley? Like, we're just gonna drop off like, that's 27 years and that's what we're doing now? That's
I
the
can't
best we
remember the
got?
people I saw 2 days ago, much less 27 years ago. So
I mean,
But
was that
also there's a standout. They're gonna do a standout. I thought it was perhaps Tampa area. If anyone's has anyone heard about this?
oh, with
Yeah.
the whole at the cruise at the port? Yeah.
Um, my question when I read that was like, well, I don't know if it was a port. Is it a port thing?
I don't know. I remember seeing it briefly. You know what I question? He's not allowed to talk about Royal Caribbean, so he says cruises, right? He and he has other people doing his talking for him. My whole thing is, I feel like he's trying to get a payday from Royal Caribbean to shut the hell up. They're not going to waste money to sue him for defamation, right? But I feel like he's waiting for a payday from him to shut up.
I don't I don't think Brad needs money. He's a physician's assistant. That's like a a I don't know medical hierarchy,
They
but my
make decent money,
understanding,
but they're not. But they're by no means rich.
Wealthy
I
people
mean,
always want more.
they're well, they're like 200 that can is there a scale for this? Is it like a
I would
200?
I would give in Richmond probably $130,000, maybe 150. I don't know how long he's been doing it.
Okay. Well, but he doesn't have kids. I mean, that's kind of
Don't even get
fucking
me started
rich.
on that either. I'm not.
So,
I'm not saying he's broke.
I don't think they need money. I think they're saving their family name. I think they think that they're saving their family name. I think it's more about reputation than money.
So then, so my whole thing is, are they? Why would they come out and do all of this yellow thing 27 years later? Is it
Oh,
because
okay.
they were suspect? Is it because why are we doing this 27 years later?
Well, because I think that how documentaries work, this is super conjecture, but I think, and based on timelines I've heard Brad speak of, I think the documentary was in the works prior to the Brad. Like, I think the Bradleys were kind of cornered. Like, this is going to come out. We either agree to talk about it because we talked about it with Dr. Phil and we talked, it was like covering themselves. But in 2025, it's a completely different landscape. And I don't know that, I think Brad is a little um overconfident, and I think he thought he could handle it because surely you could let the documentary come out and not go on social media and not do like a dozen podcasts in a month. I'm like, it was a pretty bold move
Part of me
to,
believes that they've got to be suspect just as much as Yellow and anybody else.
oh
Like,
yeah, 100%. I
so,
think the FBI is listening to all of us,
mhm.
all of us.
I really believe that they've got to be suspect, and they're trying to blame Yellow to get themselves off that list.
Yeah.
Not
But at the
saying
same time,
I think they did anything wrong. I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, that's not my theory. It's a possibility. I've got to admit it. It is. We all have to admit it. However,
but at the same time, like there's unless somebody says something happened on that balcony, like nothing, we're never gonna know.
yeah.
That's the really hard part about this case.
The last
Is
thing
I
that we
don't
know to be absolute fact, and we don't, you know what? We don't even know if she ever, we can't even say she went back to the room. We don't even know we know that 2 key cards were swiped, 3 people entered that room.
Why have we never heard when the dad has entered that room? It's got to be in the close proximity of when they did, if he
I
used his
have to
own
go
card,
find the
right?
swipe card. I saw the piece of report that showed about the swipes. I did not see his swipe.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me because if he used his own card, it's got to be close in time when they went in. So why wouldn't we have seen that? So he
Right.
makes me believe that he went in with somebody else.
So either he used somebody else's card, the other person used the card, 2 people used one card, or he knocked on the door and he had Iva wake up and open the door, which means
Oh, that's a good
all
point.
4 of them were actually awake when the other 2 came back.
I prefer the story when Iva's asleep and she's like the story gets really dark if Iva's awake.
But you got to remember, if you go back to the articles, and again, Sandy
Yeah.
Ann Sackman said, I work for the newspapers, I do this and I do that, and people make mistakes and then they won't unprint them. Every journalist that you give an interview with does not make the same mistake. They don't mishear the same thing. I just want to put that out there.
Well,
That's the
and
most
the
nonsense thing I've ever heard. But not even that. But the original article, Iva was the last one to see her awake. Do you guys not remember that article?
and I don't remember that, but I will say
I've seen it.
the
You've seen it,
most
right,
recent
John?
the first accounts are most reliable. The ones 27 years later are less reliable than the first accounts.
Exactly.
So
And first,
tell us about that. Iva seeing her awake.
what? Yeah, Iva in the first in one of the articles, it was Iva saw her awake. Iva was
Yep.
the one that
The
saw her
mother
awake
was
in
the
the
last
beginning.
one to see her. I seen it
Then
too.
it was, yeah. Then it was the father was awake and told Brad to go to bed.
Oh God. See, the thing, so I'm trying to remember back because I'm Amy's age. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm Brad's age. No, I'm a little bit younger. I'm older than you, Ivory, because I saw you wearing a year t-shirt the other day. But so I'm trying to remember back. My first cruise was in 1997, and it was with my grandparents. I was like, you know what I mean? They made me dress up on the formal night. Like they made Amy dress up. Like I totally, and
Right.
then I got attention from, I got invited to the nightclub, right? Like,
Right.
I was smoking on the top deck away from my, I was doing all the things.
And
And
yeah,
it's like, but it's not that weird. It's weird when boomers narrate it. There's something
yeah.
weird about family dynamics and expectations. And this is, how you grew up and we're with work colleagues and behave and wear this nice dress. I'm telling you, my
Well,
daughter is a
embarrassing
lesbian.
in front of her
I couldn't
coworkers and
convince my
yeah,
daughter to put a dress on, you know? So there's all this weird family dynamic stuff, but Brad presents it like everything was, he said, quote unquote, I've never seen anything like it when he was speaking about his family. Like
yeah,
like no one's perfect, bro. Stop it. God,
yeah.
he triggers me.
The fact that they push so hard that they're this perfect family and they got no problems is wild to me. There's no perfect family. We all know that. Okay. So that's just ridiculous. The one minute he knows her really well, the next minute he doesn't know. It's just the inconsistencies. I don't get it. None of it makes sense. None of it makes any sense. And then when you really listen, I need people to really look into the family. That's all I'm going to put that out there. Guys, look.
I haven't looked into them, but let's say this. You have to profile everybody in a case, and we're not profiling the family. We don't have a profile of who dad was. All we know is he was a life insurance salesman, and mom was a life insurance salesman woman, and they were awarded this cruise because they were really good life insurance salespeople. So they know how that system works. I don't,
Right.
but do you know how I think about it? Think about a used salesman in general. I work in sales, so I know sales strategies. Like we think about used car salesmen, they're kind of sleazy because they're selling you used cars. Life insurance salespeople sell you nothing. They sell you this idea. You don't leave, you don't buy something and leave with something tangible. And I think that we should profile mom and dad, and I think we should profile Brad. Brad was 21 years old.
That's exactly it. They all need
He
to
was
be
a
profiled.
child.
Hala Mom just made a good point. We also know where Amy was going to work right after. She was going to have a job with the uncle who owns a computer company, a very well off computer company worldwide. Here, India. I mean, this company was, y'all look at it. Yeah, go look at it. Do your homework.
Well, I didn't look at it, but I do know that Brad did a podcast interview with, I believe it was his cousins. I believe it, I assumed by watching the interview that it was
Yeah,
the
wasn't it like Andrew was the
children of,
cousin? Yeah,
but were they the children of the tech company guy that Amy was going to
yes,
work for? Yeah, they
yes,
were.
yeah, yep, they absolutely were.
Yeah,
And
I didn't look
I'm
at
not
that
gonna
company.
lie. I looked into that. Did anybody else? You'll find it
No.
very interesting. Yeah. Just saying. And he said in that interview, "Oh, wasn't she supposed to go work for your dad?" Didn't
He said
Brad
that
say
in the
that?
interview. I remember that. Yep. Yep.
He said, "Yeah, remember she was going to go work for your dad?" Yeah. Pretty interesting. I'm just saying. There's that.
See, there's so many rabbit holes to go down, but the one rabbit hole that the FBI and every official has gone down for 27 years was yellow, in that we're still wondering what the hell happened. So I think we need to go down different avenues. I don't think
Exactly.
yellow is it.
I agree. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I'm looking at everyone equally. To me, Brad is just as suspect as Yellow is. I'm sorry. That's a fact. He has to be. There's really nothing that clears him. Am I right? Like, unless I'm missing something. Crime, you do a lot of this stuff. You're big into this. Am I missing something? Is there anything that clears Brad?
Nope, nothing that I see.
So he's just a suspect. Suspect. I mean, we have days later approached Iva and Brad, and then all of a sudden they have this story that she was seen with Yellow going up this elevator. Now, am I saying that they're lying?
And
No. Am I saying it could have been influenced? Yes. I'm saying that we don't know what they saw to be fact, and even the FBI said they couldn't validate the times, like they couldn't do it. And isn't it funny how Brad puts the blame on everybody else? The FBI, the cruise ship, Royal Caribbean, Yellow, everybody else is to blame. Everybody else. Nobody did their job.
Seems like a bunch of deflection.
I mean, honestly, when you really, really think about it, yeah. When you really think about it, there's an awful lot of questions there. Am I saying that Brad Bradley did anything? No. But am I saying if I'm going to make Yellow a suspect, then he's got to be a suspect too? Yes. Unless you
right.
prove to me that Brad Bradley or Ron Bradley or the Bradley family didn't do anything, then please, I'm missing something. I would love somebody to prove that to me.
I mean, if Brad can put out a poll, I mean, can we not put out a poll? I
I have.
mean, well, and this is going to be crazy. So I know there's a couple of people here that know the Karen Reed case, but
Hmm.
here's my crazy relation to the Karen Reed case. Maybe Brad like didn't do anything. Maybe Brad's like a Jen McCabe,
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
Maybe maybe Ron Bradley is Brian Albert or Brian Higgins. And then you got some creators, and I don't want to name names because I like them, but then you got some, Kate Peters and Plevins out there.
Yep.
And that, like, and you know who Karen Reed is in this case? It's Yellow.
Yes.
Yellow's the Karen Reed. It's like, it's just a story.
That's actually a really good
And
way to put it.
I mean, like there, you could go on and on about who the players are and who equals who, but so you get the gist. Like there's a Carrie Roberts in the story, you know? It's the whole thing. And then the FBI is the same too, where they're not getting involved, but they're kind of because they went on the documentary and they said, we have no evidence. Amy left so they're kind of getting involved, but they're not.
Let's be real. Okay, let's be real with the FBI. We don't know what the ex-FBI knows. We have to say that. We don't know. Brad Bradley himself admitted he doesn't know what the FBI knows. Right? And he's upset because the FBI won't give him information on the investigation, which the FBI never does. The FBI does not give anybody information on an investigation. You're a suspect, dude. There's no way they've
exactly.
been able to cross your name off that list. So you're a suspect. They're not going to give you any information, nor should they. They absolutely shouldn't sit there and be like, oh, you know what? They're just a poor family. Of course they didn't do it. No, that's not. Because, I mean, look at crimes. Most of the time, it's the people most closely related to them, right? Or it's the last person that was seen with them, right?
Yeah. You know, the guy never came in the house is Amy didn't go overboard.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so silly that I relate it to that because I'm a
No, I see what you're
stupid
saying.
fanatic, but there is like you have to look for patterns in criminals. You look for patterns with the FBI. You look for patterns in things.
Yeah,
And the Bradley case is following some patterns I've seen before. I'd love to be proven wrong.
me too.
Please.
I agree. But again, it goes right back to their behavior. Like, again, why do they have to go out? And if everything they're saying is true and they're completely in the clear and there's no problems and they know exactly what happened, then somebody tell me why they're bullying creators. Somebody tell me why they're ready to go out there and say that content creators are meth heads.
Sandy Ann is Kate Peter. Right? I mean, like, let's have some fun with this. Let's cast it. I mean, there's something, it's really, they don't know how the internet works.
Yep.
They don't know we all talk to each other. Even the random shit talker commenter.
That was the easiest thing I've ever. I didn't even know. She got back to me quick. That was easy to send to her, and she wanted to believe it, and she did.
Yeah. Now think about it. Why? Why? Because she wants to knock down the content creators that don't agree with their narrative. Instead of letting the truth speak for itself, all this evidence, all this proof that you have, you don't have to defend the truth if it's the truth, right? Then let it be the truth. If there's proof of it, then why are you trying to knock me down? The proof will speak for itself. So again, that's really suspicious to me. Why do you have to
Yeah.
do? Why do you have to
The
do?
trash the trash takes itself out. If we were nothing, we're going to be nothing, and our opinions aren't going to matter, and we'll be trash that will take itself out. But I
Yeah.
don't think we are. I really don't.
No, I think we hit a nerve. I think we hit a nerve. I think we're, you know what I mean? There's something there. And let me tell you something. People think that Brad Bradley is suspicious, not because what Ivory Rose Knows says, or not because of what Crime Talk says, or Samantha, or Cece, or anybody. People think Brad Bradley's suspicious because of his aggressive behavior. He's never showed any sad emotion towards his sister. Never has anybody ever seen any emotion for his sister. A tear, a sad face, anything. Anybody ever see emotion when it comes to Brad Bradley talking about Amy, other than aggression towards other creators on the app? That's the only emotion I've ever seen. And you know what? I've seen it, and so has everybody else, Brad Bradley.
I
People
agree.
think you're suspicious because of your behavior, not because of what I say.
Yes, his behavior is what got me. It wasn't what anybody said. I watched you, I watched Grind, I watched everybody. I didn't care what anybody said. I have my own opinions, but his behavior got me, took me out.
Go read the comment section of my posts. That's all anybody says. That is the most common comment I get on any single. Why is he so aggressive? He's really suspicious. Well, his behavior is making me really suspicious. Why is he acting like this? Why are they acting like this? I'm really becoming suspicious. I don't believe him because of his behavior. So, again, if you are a suspect, then why are your people hiding behind a wall? And Brad is not hiding. You think that him going out there and accusing Yellow with no proof isn't Brad hiding? It is in my book. I'm just saying. You want me to be honest? And again, I'm not one that believes he threw her overboard. Like, I won't say that until I have something to back that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and I think with true crime, people need to realize too, you have to put feelings aside and look at facts. It's
no,
facts over feelings, unfortunately. And I got blocked by Sandy Ann. She made a post and said, Brad's real busy, so he can't get back to people, blah, blah, blah. And I said, unless you disagree with his theory, then he'll private message you. And she blocked me right away from that.
ain't that the truth, though?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got no time to answer the questions, but he can sure be in everybody's DMs.
She blocked me too because I commented on her video where she was tagging you and posting harassing content towards you, Ivory. And I asked her why somebody that works for a news station is harassing content creators on behalf of someone whose sister is missing. That's weird.
Yeah, it really makes you question. It really makes you question. Their behavior makes you question them. Their behavior made me, just like Crime just said, their behavior makes me question them more than anything else. It's their reaction to all of this is what's making me think that they're suspicious.
Yes, if he had never started attacking people, I might still be speaking for the family or the trafficking theory. I would hope I would be off the trafficking theory because it just doesn't make sense logically. But I would not be doing what I'm doing if his behavior hadn't changed. It was
But
wild.
he
Yeah.
messaged you early and he asked you to take a video down, right?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, sorry.
I'd have to look back. I don't know if he actually asked me to take down the
Okay,
video.
sorry. I'm speaking it out of
Oh, you're fine. He might have insinuated. I'll have to look at my messages. There's very few, so it wouldn't be hard for me to find.
I
he
think
was early
people wouldn't.
on. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think if he wasn't talking so much, trying to control the narrative, people wouldn't have been looking further into this. They would have taken the Netflix documentary as what it was, but it became weird really quick with social media, him and social media.
Yeah. Not even
100%.
that. But he had social media for how long? And never posted about his sister? Like, nobody finds that odd. He didn't post until July when the documentary came out. But
Yeah,
he did so much to search for his sister.
He was
It took
busy
me-
body shaming women and whatnot.
Yeah,
You
it
seen
was-
the things I sent you today.
Yeah.
How dare he talk about T Swift like that?
Yeah, I went back into his Twitter and I looked at his replies. And the most alarming thing I noticed, there was a pattern of talking about trans, talking about gay and lesbian. And I thought that was odd. And then now, the day after the Netflix doc dropped, then posting about his sister. So to me, and this is just my opinion, there's some deep-rooted issue, I feel, with him and his behavior on Twitter. And honestly, if he was really serious about finding his sister and knowing that she was a lesbian, he wouldn't be posting that. He'd want to make himself look good for everybody.
Yes, Amy, come home. We accept you, but yet you don't accept the people in that community. Does that not make sense?
I think that's the biggest red flag for me is the homophobia. And I can say that as a queer woman, you know what I mean? Like, you would want to know, even if you didn't necessarily understand your siblings' lifestyle or, whatever, you have different beliefs on things, like you would want to have some sort of an understanding of that part of your sibling if you really truly wanted them to come home or you wanted to solve the case of them being missing. You wouldn't shun that. You wouldn't try and shut that down. You wouldn't try and sell some different narrative about boyfriends. And you damn sure wouldn't be posting homophobic things on Twitter. That for me is the biggest red flag. And, it makes me concerned for the fact of like, was she targeted for that reason? Did something happen to her and did she meet her demise, because of these extremist beliefs? Was she a victim of violence because of that?
Right. Well, that exactly, it makes you question that. His behavior towards that community really makes you question if that wasn't the reason Amy went missing.
And for goodness sakes, I mean, he even replied to the singer Pink and said she looked like a man.
Yeah.
Her body and everything and her haircut. She looks like a man.
Amy, we want you to come home, Amy. But what? Don't come home gay? Because here you are talking crap about that community. That's a community your sister's in, whether or not she was trafficked or not. That's who she is, part of her identity. And you're trashing it to the public, but yet at the same time telling the public you totally accept who she is and want her to come home. Would you want to come home? I sure as hell wouldn't want to come home to that.
Somebody said, oh, it was a different time back then. Well, these posts are from 2022 and on. That's alarming to me.
Now think about it. How many posts in 2022 was him looking for Amy Bradley?
Right.
How many posts in 2023 were of him asking for help about his sister? None. How about 2024? Nothing. Nothing. Never mentioned her until July when the documentary came out. But yet he's going to tell you he's been everywhere putting his sister's name out there, trying to find her for years, decades.
And the same with Sandy Ann. She's not ever posted until July 17th,
Right.
the day after the documentary came out.
Exactly.
Oh, she's the mouthpiece. She's the KPR.
Yeah.
For those who know.
She is making, first of all, I need everyone to know that she is, first of all, Brad, she's making you look that much worse.
But he does that. He doesn't, I don't want to say he recruits people, but when he sees someone that who agrees with him, he latches and then he doesn't have to do any work. Then they're suddenly doing the work for him. Then they're suddenly being his mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And it's so then you have all these, they're gatekeepers. Oh,
Yeah.
something today in a live about someone asked about in a live, another content creator, they said, who was the person who said Senorita kidnapped? And the
That's what I
creator said,
said.
oh, yeah, well, the creator said, oh, we can't talk about that. We're not releasing it. We're trying to do this thing. But I'm like, no, her name was Caitlin, and James Renner talks about her in detail. And if you cross-reference that whole story, it's fucking weird. So, like, none of it makes sense. You know what I mean? So
So
there's people that
some young
they're
girl
gatekeeping.
screams Senorita kidnapped, and that means Yellow is guilty of kidnapping.
Well,
Oh
see,
my gosh.
there is no tie. Okay, please go ahead, Crime.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I want to hear
Okay.
you.
So I was also on somebody's live today talking, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. Anyways, another creator that I respect, but they were talking about Elizabeth Elizabeth and the Senorita kidnapped. So that's Caitlin. Is that what you were saying, Cece?
No, I might have got it wrong. You might be right.
I don't know.
Because see, here's the thing, is it's so blurry and murky. But
Yes, it's
so there
crazy.
is a Caitlin and an Elizabeth
And then
that are
is Serene
in,
Senorita kidnapped? One of those girls?
well, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me finish
Who
real quick.
knows?
Oh,
Do
sorry.
you think Brad could tell us? He should join this live.
Well, anyways, she's missing. Senorita kidnapped is missing.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Nobody can find her. And so I said, so potentially we have a second woman kidnapped from that cruise ship? And this person said, yes, potentially, because nobody can find her. She's from a foreign country. So people might not be looking for her.
Was this the Hungary? There's a Hungary crew member. There was a crew member who has a name that was from Hungary
Well, let me
on
ask
the
you
man.
this. Senorita kidnapped. Obviously, she speaks Spanish, right?
Yes.
But she was a worker, a young girl who worked there, is what he said, right?
Yes.
Now, you mean to tell me she's screaming Senorita kidnapped? Somebody on the ship noticed that, told Brad Bradley, but nobody reported it on the ship?
Exactly. And then, well, she got kidnapped, maybe, is what they're saying. The Senorita kidnapped girl potentially could have gotten kidnapped as well. They came in and swooped her away, and now nobody can find her. And I said, well, if she's a worker on the ship, shouldn't the FBI be able to trace her, find her through, logs and stuff? I don't remember what the answer was to that, but it blew my mind, honestly.
So more than likely, this woman never existed, is what we're saying.
Well, but she did supposedly. Oh no, that was Elizabeth. Yeah, you know what? Yes, exactly.
But the thing is, the FBI was aboard that ship within 2 days. So there was a lot of interviews that happened, and as the Bradleys have told us, the FBI isn't sharing information with them. So there's probably a lot of investigation that has happened based on all these claims that maybe Brad isn't aware of.
Tim
I
and
mean,
Molly,
I'm trying to be helpful.
Tim and Molly just said in the comments she could have been removed, meaning unalived, the woman. Like, are we for real? So now there's two dead people. A whole lot of workers have to be involved in that if they were witnesses that saw her and everything else. And you mean to tell me this went off without a hitch, and in 30 years, there's never been a report of people missing. There's never been any investigation. And all these people working together have been silent and nobody talked. Do you know how unlikely that scenario is? That I don't think there could that scenario is extremely unlikely. It's just extremely unlikely. The fact that there has been money out there, rewards offered, and all these people have stayed silent to cover each other for a trafficking ring. Come on, guys. Highly unlikely. And these people are willing to unalive the Senorita kidnap lady, but Yellow brought massive heat from the FBI and Interpol and all these people to the ship, but he's still walking around just fine. Do you all understand how that?
That's what gets me. Like, if Yellow was involved, and then remember, everybody says Yellow's just a small guy, right? He's just a wee guy. So if he was involved, why hasn't he been taken down? Why not get the little fish, right?
First of all, if I owned a trafficking ring and you messed up so big that now there's 20 documentaries and these people are accusing you and you're going to bring down my multi-million-dollar trafficking ring, the man would have been dead.
So valid.
Work on a ship for 2 more years. Makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense. The owner of a trafficking ring is not going to risk that kind of business for some guy from Greenwich.
Well, I like to look at the numbers of this. So, like, there has to be numbers because people brought up $60,000 and like what, and I hate this is the disgusting part of this is to talk about the numbers. How much and then how much and then how many people were involved. The initial payment was maybe I'm making up a number, 10,000. But like I don't think it would be that high. Uh maybe it's 5,000, but then how many people have to be involved to like share that little pot? And then, like, it goes on from there are real numbers to these theories about trafficking. And I've heard other creators say billions of dollars. It's not. It's really not. It's
The
short-lived.
trafficking rings?
You are what we're not you're fucking talking about trafficking. This is not quote unquote trafficking. This is a disgusting act every single time. And you're putting a monetary, this is disgusting to talk about. We don't, Amy Bradley, stop. Everybody's looking for her. I mean,
Things like
who's
this
paying
happen.
the guards?
So,
Who's paying the guards?
things like this happen. Who's ever been sex trafficked off a cruise ship?
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't, yes, sex trafficking happens.
Yeah, I'm not saying it
People,
doesn't, but I'm just
but
saying,
we're,
who's ever been
the
sex
numbers
trafficked
we're
off a boat?
talking about don't happen ever. And do you know when shit gets weird, you eliminate problems.
Thank you.
They don't, it's not a 20, I'm telling you, if Amy Bradley was sex trafficked, it was so successful. Why didn't they do it again? Why isn't there other women missing
Why
from cruise
wouldn't
ships?
they have done something to the people who almost took this ring down?
I am so grossed out by this whole thing. I
That
don't
makes
know
sense.
why we can't get over it.
Yeah,
Like, it's not a thing. And I feel almost like it makes me feel bad as a female, as a human, to believe that this didn't, like, she wasn't a victim. She is definitely a victim of something.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
don't think she is, I don't think she is in captivity.
I
I
don't,
don't think she has been exploited the way that they want us to think that she has been exploited.
no,
That
I
is
don't.
so disgusting.
I'm going to be
27
honest.
years,
It was hate crimed.
I I'm kind of on your side. And I voted for Trump 3 times. So that means I am, do you know what I mean? Like we can agree that it wasn't like it's not a political thing
Right.
to not believe the Bradleys. I would like to say that. I'm kind of an asshole who voted for Trump 3 times, but I also am logical. And, my daughter is gay. My sister is gay. I talk
So
stupid in front of them. They know I do. But, like, there's no way we're making anyone less gay.
I
That's what
just
they're doing
want
to Amy.
Jara has a comment. Okay, guys, can you please explain how come they never found the body? Well,
Because
can you
the
please
ocean
explain
is
how come they never
like
found
three
real
quarters
actual?
of the earth.
Well, also explain how they don't have any actual proof of life. They got pictures, they got possibles, but there's no proof of life in 30 years. You mean to tell me she can sit somewhere and she can get on a computer or a phone or whatever means of communication she gets onto, and she can go visit this website every holiday, every anniversary, every all of this, but she can't reach out for help? Make it make sense, guys.
Also, I think they were farther out to sea than they're making everybody believe. It says they were 10 miles in an article, and we don't know what happened after 4 o'clock. I'm betting it was somewhere around 4:30.
If you look at that area,
Yep.
you know the difference between the tide and the current, where the current goes. There's no way she would have been pulled ashore.
What you just said, Crime Talk, is the early reports in the early reportings were last seen at 4:30. Like
Yes.
minutes matter, and we saw that in the Karen Reed, John O'Keefe case. Like minutes
Well,
matter.
yeah, come on,
But
realistically, where is she? They have IP addresses and they got pictures that are her. Well, where is she? Realistically.
Yeah, and I'm being realistic. She probably went over out to sea more. And those currents are wild, wild. There's people coming from the island on our comments saying, no, you would not.
Get dragged out to sea, which is why that the what was it, the jawbone that they tested for Natalie Holloway was so far away.
Yes.
Okay, was because that's where it pulled her. Yeah, absolutely.
Or this guy, the harbor guy.
I have this
The
question. Somebody tell me how Iva Bradley gets a phone call. We have a female brunette here, and we think it's Amy Bradley, and it ends up a male pelvic girdle.
And they tested it in 24 hours.
Like, how did that? Nobody's questioning that whole scenario. So they called you and told you that they think it's Amy Bradley that they found, a brunette female, and then all of a sudden it becomes a pelvic girdle with no.
And there's no reports of that. I cannot find anything about a body or bones washing up on Curacao. I think
With the exception of the
nowhere
jawbone,
near that time.
which we have no proof was ever tested.
Right, but that was in 2010, and this would have been 1998 because it was when Brad and Ron were on their way home from Curacao that Iva got that call. So this was shortly after. Oh man, don't even get me started on this because I have some theories about that body with brown hair. I'm sure you do too.
No, go ahead. I want to hear them.
I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to say it, but maybe it was Amy and somebody got paid off. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the same thing.
I mean, how does a body with brown hair?
You don't get a phone call. We found who we believe to be Amy, a female with brown hair, and we believe to be her. And then all of a sudden, it magically changes into a pelvic girdle.
And
then they accuse those harbor people of being slippery. Like they've said out loud, they don't trust anybody on that island.
Okay, Ivory, can we discuss the person who is the maritime expert?
I think that's what we were just talking about.
Okay.
The
Never mind.
harbor guy.
Forget I said that.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the same guy?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy who was talking about the current and the riptide. So apparently they said that she would have been pulled to sea, but there's no way. She would not have been pulled to shore. She would have been pushed out to sea because of the current. I think Epstein. Yeah, I don't know about going there, but I don't know. I find all of it just really questionable. I really do. I find all of it questionable. There's no way that a body with brown hair, a female that they believe was Amy Bradley, turned into a pelvic girdle in less than 24 hours.
And like, how did somebody not get in so much trouble for calling a family and saying, hey, we're pretty sure we have your daughter? Like he said, it's likely Amy, a female body with brown hair. How does somebody not get in trouble for doing that? Why didn't they go after those people?
Yeah, come on, guys. There's no way. Explain that.
The explanation is that they have been taken advantage of by a lot of people along the way. I mean, Alec, what was that guy's name? Tony. Come on, help me.
Frank
Jones.
Frank.
Oh, don't get me started on Frank Jones now.
So, no. What I'm saying is, like, they have been led astray by almost everyone they've run into. You know, like that's the. Have we not noticed this?
But
Frank
how an
Jones.
excuse? They're saying the harbor chief called
The
them
lawyers
and said,
told them that they had to do this. Like they're victims of everything.
Yeah.
The harbor chief told them this. This person told them this. The lawyer said you have to do a wrongful death.
Lied to them.
Frank Jones took $200,000, not from them, but from their boss. And their boss is now dead. And this witness is now dead. And the cab driver is dead. Like everybody's dead. I mean, there's no, I, I don't know where to go.
Speaking of which,
None of it makes sense.
you know which one I find very odd? The Carmichael one. Okay, so he sees Amy, right? And she goes up to him, like wanting him to save her, right? And these guys come and grab her away. And then they just waltz her over to the little bar and let Carmichael follow and sit there and get a really good look at her while she's showing off her tattoos and sitting in particular positions for him. I mean, he says this like, what? They didn't just take her and run right off that beach once they realized she was trying to be saved by an American or a Canadian? Like, what?
No, no,
Think
no.
about it. It don't even make sense, guys.
It doesn't make
But
any
then
sense.
he came back and then he saw the story on like America's Most Wanted. And then he got in contact with the family. And then he built the Amy Bradley is Missing website and he's tracking the IP addresses. It's the same guy,
So we
Carmichael.
know, supposedly we know where in Barbados this IP address is binging off of, right? Well, where's Amy? How many times have they gone down there during an anniversary or a holiday to go to this little small town to see if she's around anywhere? You mean to tell me with technology being the way it is today, we have no idea where she's...
Well,
I mean, come on.
It's really sad, y'all. This makes me sad for her.
Why would it be? It's too dangerous to go where? So now all of a sudden their reasoning that they don't go down to Barbados and go look for their sister or daughter is because it's too dangerous down there? Oh,
Yes,
no,
Brad,
they're afraid
well,
to
about
fly?
that.
They flew home and flew there. They flew to
well,
Florida. Now they're afraid to fly and can't go find her? Because how many times have they
look,
moved to these islands to go look for their sister? You'd never get me off. No, I get not moving there. However, you better believe if I know this IP address is coming from Barbados, every holiday I'd be in Barbados. How many times does he travel back there on his own to go look for his sister?
I've been to Barbados on a cruise that sailed out of San Juan.
Nobody's
Um,
saying to go around it. I mean, so it's too dangerous to go around and ask for her, yet they were down there originally asking for her, right? They weren't scared then. Now all of a
I
sudden
mean,
they're scared?
white people are rare in Barbados. Okay, Rihanna is from Barbados, guys. When you get off the cruise ship, you can take a Rihanna house tour. It's not like 25 million people cruise every year.
I'm not understanding, Jared, what you're trying to say. Yeah, but going on a cruise is different than running around trying to find your sister. I don't even know what that means. Make that make sense.
They love tourists on the islands. They love us. They want to tell us everything. They want to take us. Yeah, of course, they're not going to take us to dangerous places, but I mean, we're Americans. We uh, help the economy survive
Yeah,
on
they
these
want our
islands.
money. They want our
Yeah, they
money.
want our money.
Absolutely. So you mean to tell me it's too dangerous? They've never gone back to look for Amy. So what do they
I
do?
mean, Rihanna is a local. It's not like
They're
she
on,
took a cruise there.
they're
She's
on,
fucking from there.
they're on their second or third investigator, and nobody's come up with anything. We've got nothing, right? So, I mean, you've been searching for 27 years. Well, what is the result of that searching? All this money that you've collected from people to search. Well, what were the results? Are we any closer to finding Amy than 27 years ago? Do we have
Yeah,
any?
it's work product.
I keep hearing about the same 3 sightings that they lied about in court, that they pushed in court. I keep hearing about the same nonsense over and over again. Do you got nothing in 27 years, but she's alive and trafficked in a ring. Okay. If you say so. I don't know. Listen. At that point, her jumping off sounds a whole lot more probable. So you're telling me that Brad could walk around and ask people where his sister is? You mean to tell me if she was there in that small little town in Barbados, he wouldn't? If he wanted to find her that bad, you think that nothing would stop me? Don't ask around. Walk around and see if you see her. Don't ask nobody nothing. So now all of a sudden he can't go back there. So then what's been done for 27 years? Well, nothing would stop you, but somebody else could stop you. Okay, so you mean to tell me they haven't gone back there in 27 years to even walk around just to see if they saw her? Because they're what? Afraid for their life? Nobody even knew who they were for 27 years. Like, make that make sense. They could have been down there. No one's saying walk around and ask questions. But if you knew your sister every Christmas was in the small town in Barbados, you wouldn't be in that small town in Barbados on Christmas. I would. It just makes no sense. It just makes absolutely no sense.
Someone asked, who said they haven't been back there? Brad says they haven't been back there, and he said that it's because it's too dangerous and his parents can't risk losing him. And I believe, their age, but when this happened, they were in their 40s.
So 27 years, and we know that she is supposedly, we know that she's sitting in somewhere in Barbados, little town in Barbados, but it's too dangerous for them to go back there
Are they
because,
scared of black people? Like, is that what this is?
like, you mean to tell
It
me
feels like that. It feels like
Americans don't
that.
travel to Barbados?
It feels like that. It feels like they are picking on people that they believe are beneath them.
It's like racial profiling.
It just doesn't
It,
make any sense to me. So instead, we're
the
going to put our
yellow thing, yeah.
and hope that somebody knows Amy Bradley from 27 years ago because they bought her off a website, and we're just going to hope they drop a note. So at that point, why are you spending? Why are you collecting money to look for her? What are the investigators that you've paid for all these years done?
Yeah. I want to know
Something.
where the money's going. I would love to know
It's
where
all
the
to the
money's going.
investigation. Well, it's not travel fees because it says it in the thing that it's travel expenses. But who's traveling down to look for Amy? You just said you didn't. So who's travel
It
fees? Why don't the investigators that you're paying for go down there? Guys, make it make
there
sense.
is, can we talk about the investigator that they have now? Um, so they say that they have an investigator now
Oh, I saw that.
who, so, but they're not like, they're keeping it very private. They're not introducing any new help. Um, they're raising money that they say they need for investigators. And, I've thought about this. Like, it's probably good to keep it private. We don't, like, private investigators, like, if they're undercover, it's not good if the public knows.
So then
But,
why would you make it so public? Why would you make this whole situation so public if you needed to be private to save her life?
well, they had that investigator from Court TV who volunteered his help. And then,
And then they went after him
Brad,
because he didn't want to speak with Sandy, which I agree with. Let me tell you, Sandy, you weren't there. Oh, I told Ivory I'd come up on a live with her. I didn't want to talk to you, chick. You weren't there. You can't tell me
well,
nothing. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell
and
me
she
what you're
did say
saying.
that. But didn't she say that Brad didn't have time to meet
He said
with
that Brad was
the
too
new
busy and that he was
investigator?
not going to talk.
He
Yes.
was too busy.
He could be in my DMs calling me an ignorant asshole, but he's too
Yeah.
busy to speak one on one with a private investigator who is willing to help him raise money for the investigation. But no, because you have to talk to another private investigator. What?
Well,
Now,
I'm trying to
you're the
understand
private
what are
investigator.
they?
I want first-hand knowledge. I don't want to speak to Sandy or private investigators. I want to speak
Yeah.
to somebody who was there. Otherwise, if I'm speaking to a PI who's going to give me what he already did, well, then that ain't going to help me do what I need to do. Then just go and do. That made no sense. The
Is
problem
that
is,
one of?
I feel like if that investigator, being who he was, actually went and investigated for real, he might have found something. And so they had to make the offer look
Right.
bad. They had to make
Well,
that offer look bad. It had to be,
everyone.
oh, they just want to get to Brad Bradley because Brad Bradley's so famous. Are we for real?
I think everyone's going to
Nobody
come to the
would want to
same
speak to somebody
conclusion.
secondhand.
I think
Then
everybody's going to come to the same conclusion. There's no evidence that she left the room, and I think
I
it's
feel like that
a
private
carousel.
investigator. I feel like there's a reason why they had to turn down that investigator. There's a reason why they had to make him look bad. And I believe it's because he was public. If he would have actually looked into stuff, they may not have liked what he found. And I think that they have to keep their little private investigators, these people who never find anything, and oh, we got to keep everything secret because I don't believe there really is any investigation going on. That man was a public person. He sat there and publicly said that he would go and investigate, willing to help raise the money. And then all of a sudden he was just trying to get to Brad Bradley. Why would a investigator who's willing to help you raise money and do the work speak to somebody who's already done their investigation that obviously didn't work? Why would I want to speak to them? Why would I not want to speak to the person who knows firsthand who was there? Because other than that, you're just fucking around with me, right? But no, they had to make that man look bad because they can't have him actually investigate any of it. Why? Because I think Brad Bradley would look just as suspect as everybody else. That's my opinion.
I think he like offered to do it for free or lesser money
He
even
offered to
as
do it
well.
for less money and to help them raise whatever money they needed.
Yes. And then yeah, that part turned me a little bit too when
They
they
were
turned him
willing to
down.
do that. They had to make him look bad. And there's Sandy the Minion talking about he just wanted to get his Brad Bradley's too busy. Is he really? Because dude, he's everywhere all the time. He was too busy to take an offer of an actual investigator. He sure had the time to slide into my DMs and call me an ignorant asshole because I don't believe his story, though. He sure has a lot of time to bully creators, but he didn't have time to speak to an investigator who was willing to actually help. Or was it because that guy was public? And because, well, they were a little intimidated. Just saying. Obviously, the first investigator didn't do much, so why would this investigator want to speak to that one? He would want to start his own and speak directly to the person who is there. Right? Make that make sense.
I mean,
I want my donation back that I sent them.
I I I hope they find. I really wish that they would give the whole thing grace. Like there's a way that they could have stepped back. And well, not really. I mean, I think the Netflix documentary was forced upon them. Um, yeah, and I think when you corner an animal, they get defensive and weird, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, possibly.
It's really weird.
I feel like he's got to try and cover up what. Listen, he's still a suspect. There's no way the FBI says he's not a suspect. You know, FBI doesn't run off of emotions. Oh, this poor family. No. Look at them. They're not. No, they're nice people. They're not suspects.
And
No.
they operate in silence. They're never going to tell anyone anything
And Brad
about this
Bradley thinks
case.
he's something special, like he should get the investigation information.
Yeah.
First of
Yep.
all, true crime, everybody knows about that person inserting themselves into the investigation. That's the biggest red flag. Who are you? Why would you get look at the
Oh,
Ramseys.
Jen
The
McCabe.
Ramsey family, John Bonet Ramsey family did the same thing. I want to see what you
Yep.
got. I won't speak to you until I see
100%.
what you got. And let's be real, I think most of us believe that they knew something about it too. They were guilty as hell,
Yep.
in my opinion. So they're pulling that same thing. I want to see what you got. Dude, you're a suspect. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but you're suspect. Just saying.
You're 100% right. You have to draw these comparisons. to other cases. Like, how did these things play out? John Benet Ramsey is a great one to compare it to.
Yeah.
Super weird. We're never going to know the truth. It's just what it is. But also kind of Karen Reed. We know how that one played out, though. But
I just meant as far as the family and trying to keep public to overshadow the fact that, well, let's be real. We all, come on, who doesn't think it's the family? Who doesn't
well,
think
and
he wrote that ransom note? Like, who, you know what I mean? Like, come on, you guys were the last one with the kid. Like, again, the
and
last.
the lack of self-awareness and inflated self-importance of these families, it was it really apparent on how they walked along life. You know, Ivor Bradley would say, when my children walked into the room, everybody thought they were beautiful. She said that.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Who says that? My kids, I have a son and a daughter. My kids are fucking beautiful, but I'm not going on a documentary saying that when I know that we're kind of average, right? Stop. It's a boomer thing. It's a boomer thing.
I agree.
Okay.
But guys, on that note, it is midnight. I have got to end this live. I have to get up early in the morning, but I just want to say to those of you who are new here, don't forget to give a follow, and please don't forget to follow everybody up here on the panel, guys. I will go live again tomorrow, guys. So if you guys are available, please come back. We can continue this. And thank you guys so much. Crime, CC, Sam, Ash, thank you guys so much for being up here. To everybody in the comments, to all of my mods, thank you so much for keeping the chat clean. Guys, reached 236,000 likes. I appreciate you all very much for that. Thank you to all of the new followers. I appreciate you. And to everybody who gave all of their commentary in the chat, I appreciate you guys for the chat. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Ivory.
Bye,
Bye.
Thanks, chat and panel. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Bye.